Hi, colleagues. So you can use really simple rubrics in Google Classroom to give your students regular feedback on their classwork without it becoming too cumbersome or time consuming. I'll show you how to do that. So let's take a look at this assignment that I created in Classroom already. Okay. And I'm going to click on somebody's work. When I pull that work up, you can see that I graded this person using a rubric down the side. And I'll show you what that was. This is my 3-point rubric that I love to use for classwork. All right. A 3 means everything is correct. A 2 means the work was mostly correct. A 1 means this was hard for you. Let's practice it together. So I'll probably take the kids that got a 1 and pull a group and go over that concept with them. And a 0 would be this is something that person did not do at all for some reason. So by using a quick and simple rubric like this, I can cycle through my students' classwork that they turned in, and I can give them feedback in moments, right? And then that'll also give me something that I can look at in terms of just record keeping, so that I can see who's doing a good job over time, or who's needed a lot of help, or who's just not getting the work done, and that sort of thing. So a quick rubric like this, like my 3-point rubric that I like to use, it's really helped me out quite a bit. I have also used from time to time a 2-point rubric. So for my 2-point rubric, let me just pull up an assignment that has one of those in it. So I can find you a good example. Let's see here. Who had the 2-point rubric? Here we go, this assignment. So again, if I pull up somebody's work with the 2-point rubric on it, this is one that I use just, did you do this work? This is not for how well did you do it. So something like this, icebreaker activity, 2 truths and a lie that I did with my students. I could give them a 2, which means you followed all of the directions, a 1, which I said means you followed some of the directions, and a 0, which is, again, you didn't do it. So 2 different rubrics, both really simple, both for different purposes, but you can create them very easily. And let me show you how to do that now. So when you create a new assignment in Classroom, right? Let's say I attach, something from my drive here to pretend that's the student work that I'm looking to get back, right? I'll give everybody a copy. So let's say I wanted to attach my 3-point rubric. I would make this out of 3 points, and I would go down here and press rubric. And since I've already created and used my 3-point rubric in the past, I can click reuse rubric. And I can just look at an assignment that had 3 points in the past, click it and click select. And now I've just applied that same 3-point rubric from other assignments to this assignment as well. Very easy. Now, what if you haven't created that rubric yet? Let me show you what to do. So you would hit plus rubric and you would say create, right? We're going to create the rubric. So for a 1 criteria rubric like we're using right here, criterion title, I'm just using something like 3-point rubric. And I really don't need a criterion description here. If you want to get into a crazy rubric that has, 3 or 4 different tasks or criteria that you're grading the kids on, you can do that. But for these purposes, we're keeping it nice and simple. Okay. This is just going to be a 3, 2, 1, or a 0, right? So I'm going to make sure there's 4 levels here. All right. Student can get a 3, a 2, a 1, or a 0. Don't really need level title. And description, I would just describe to my kids what a 3 means. You did all of this work correctly. Most of your work is correct for a 2. This was hard for you. Let's practice together for a 1. And a 0 would be you did not do this. It's as simple as that. So now I've created my rubric. When I hit save, this is now saved as my 3-point rubric. Okay. Now, again, just like that, you can create that 2-point rubric. And then once you create a rubric and you use it once, it'll be there for you under reuse rubric so that you can use it again and again. So you don't have to go through that process of creating a rubric every time. So I hope this gave you some ideas of how you could play around with rubrics and hopefully make it easier for you to keep track of your students' classwork on a regular basis. Let me know if you have any questions about rubrics. Thanks.